Click.
Alrighty, welcome to the PSBS, that's the PlayStation Bull Session Podcast. This is episode, what are we on now, 17?
Yeah, 17.
17, cool. No, because I'm 1 week off, because if you guys didn't notice last week, I wasn't here last week.
Huh?
Yeah, I know. Crazy. Yeah, I had some personal family matter stuff came up and had to, yeah, so I wasn't available for the podcast last week. But luckily, my co-host here, took the challenge and found somebody and did a podcast.
Yes, I would personally like to give a shout out to Emmett for doing that. That was very nice of him. I told him he is welcome on the show anytime. So whenever he wants, and then we can get into contact. We can definitely get him back here in future episodes. So I would like to thank him. It was a lot of fun.
Yep. So if you missed last week's episode, go check it out. Just see, kind of have a different perspective, a new perspective on the show. We had with our guest host.
Mm-hmm.
But for this week, you got your original hosts. You got me, Co-T,
Yes.
PSN Bayou Boys. My co-host here is
Andrew Arena Stubble is. This was quite a week.
Yes, quite a week.
And then, it's just crazy.
Yeah, a lot of news and stuff. But one quick little announcement I want to make before we get into the news.
No, it's fine. We gotta do the housekeeping.
I gotta do that housekeeping because I wanna touch on the something because I noticed something last week. So, if you've been having trouble getting our podcast on SoundCloud, I figured out what the problem was. Like they were on SoundCloud, but if you download them, the file size was way too big.
Whoa!
Like it was over 100 megabytes, and that's way too big for a podcast to download.
Yeah, I know. Usually podcasts are around maybe less than 60. Definitely less than 100.
Yeah, so I figured out the problem, so I fixed it. Last week's episode was only like 30 megabytes if you wanted to download it. And I should have it fixed for this week going forward. The podcast will be much smaller sizes, under 100 megabytes. You'll be able to download and listen to if you want to use SoundCloud. So if that was putting you off from using SoundCloud, it's fixed now. So, so check that out.
It's definitely more convenient when you want to listen to it offline.
Because
SoundCloud, you just stream it. It's not really downloading, but whenever you want to have it downloaded and listen to it while you don't really have a cell connection or anything like that, it's a lot more convenient.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I didn't really notice until the other day. Like the file sizes were way too big, and I fixed the problem last week. So going forward, it should be good. But anyway, to the podcast at hand with the news and stuff. We got a lot of news this week.
To the week that was.
The week that was, yep. So let's see what we got this week. A couple little things. We have some not news. No, we're 1 day early on this news, but the new Need for Speed is going to be announced tomorrow.
Okay.
And we're doing the podcast today, so it's kind of like, well, we can't talk about it because we haven't seen it yet.
Well, we'll definitely talk about it next week.
Yeah.
Give our interpretation of how this Need for Speed game is. I have high hopes for this game. I mean, I wasn't really a fan of, what was it? Oh my gosh, I'm already forgetting. Rivals. Wait, Rivals, right? Yeah, Rivals. The launch title on PS4 and Xbox One. Wasn't really a fan of that game. Wasn't really all that fun, so I'm just hoping this year Need for Speed is back at a true return to form, and just hoping it's better. I'm pretty sure it's going to look really good. But does it play good, and does it have a good world, and at least a decent soundtrack? I pray to God it does. Because Rivals really didn't have any of that.
For me, it's still not Burnout, so I don't care.
yeah, it's very true, but I think Need for Speed, it can have a spirit that's somewhat close to Burnout, especially with the ones that Criterion has made with Hot Pursuit and whatnot. Have been pretty darn close, so I want this to be the game, arcade racing game.
No, I'm getting tired of everybody keeps saying, "Oh, Hot Pursuit or whatever was just basically Burnout." No, it's not Burnout. I want Burnout, the Burnout. I don't want some like spiritual thing. I want the Burnout back. I don't know why.
I don't know. You're gonna have to keep waiting. That's gonna, or possibly indefinitely. We're not getting any updates from Criterion on that.
It would have been really ironic if Burnout would have became like EA's top franchise, like top racing franchise, and they keep making those games, so they keep calling it Burnout this, Burnout that, and then people start making jokes like, they're burning out this franchise.
Maybe, or just it would have been because EA has both.
Yeah, EA has both. They own both of the licenses, but the thing is, they only want to focus on one racing franchise. That's why we're not getting any new Burnout games. We're just getting Need for Speed games. You know.
Yeah, and Need for Speed, they're really turning into like a whole franchise, not just in the games but also movies. So,
Yeah.
it has a name to it, and it's a little unfortunate. But I just really want to see what this new game is, and just I really hope it's of a much higher quality than what we had in launch for PS4, and I'm excited to see what it's going to be.
Yeah. But we'll see. It'll be announced tomorrow,
Good.
or probably as you're listening to this podcast, it'll already been announced.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll talk about it probably some more next week. And let's see what else. What else came out? What other news this week? Oh, this finally happened this week. I've been warning about this for a long time, but it was finally confirmed that we have a release date now for the Ratchet and Clank movie.
Ah.
Yeah, that movie we've heard so long ago was announced in development, and they said they were shooting for 2015, but now it's not happening. Because the release date now for the movie is April 29th, 2016. So
I
next
guess
year.
this movie adaptation of the game really wanted to be true to form of what games actually are, and also get delayed as well.
Well, this movie's weird. It's not even made by a major studio. It's not even made by like Sony Animation, which you would think they would be the first ones on it. But they weren't.
No.
No, this was made by, oh god, I forget their name, but they're a small animation team, a small animation studio. So basically, this was an indie movie. They brought it to Cannes Film Festival and sold it to like Open Road. I think it was Open Road Studios, something like that. Open Road Films. And now it's getting release date in April. So yeah, like this was like an indie film. They had to find a distributor to sell it. That's why we're not getting a release date till 2016.
Yeah.
Um,
But in the other news that we had, it has quite a star-studded cast, voice cast at least.
Yeah.
Experienced people who have done other voices in other animated movies before.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's got Sylvester Stallone. Remember him from Ants?
That
His last voice acting gig I can remember. It was Ants.
That I can really remember. I doubt he did the Rambo game last year.
They probably just reused audio from the movie, like they did with the Lego games. They just put the audio on top of it.
I know, right?
I'm assuming. I haven't played the Rambo game, but. But the other thing too, like when I first read the headline, I wonder what this meant for the game. Because remember how they wanted to re-release the first game, like as a tie-in with the movie.
Well, the first game also got the game also got delayed.
Well, that was the thing. They confirmed that, like with the movie, it says the movie's not coming out till 2016. They confirmed that that new remaster, remake of the first Ratchet and Clank game won't come out till the movie in 2016. So.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you want to count this as a delay, seeing as it didn't really have a firm, even placeholder yet. So it's not really. It's somewhat similar to Uncharted 4 if it's delayed, but I mean, at least you couldn't pre-order it on the freaking PlayStation store yet. So
yeah,
so that's something.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously we haven't seen anything of this game yet.
Nope.
Hopefully we'll see.
Other than its concept,
we'll probably see something at E3 because this is the last E3 before it would come out.
Will we see something about it? I would hope so. I mean, it'd be brilliant for Insomniac to actually have something up on PS4 already.
Because like I said, this is the last E3 before it comes out.
But it was even at E3 of its announcement, it was kind of like a side thing. Like, oh, by the way, we're reimagining Ratchet and Clank. It was like that's it. Like,
well, that was the thing. The main focus was the movie. Like, here's the trailer for the movie. And by the way, when this movie comes out, we're also going to put out a reimagining of the first Ratchet and Clank game.
So hopefully maybe they can spend some more time, maybe have like a short gameplay demo of it, see how good it looks on PS4. Like if Insomniac can already make something look really good on Xbox One, can't wait to see what they make on PS4. So yeah, I'm excited to see how the first Ratchet and Clank's going to be reimagined. Especially since that first game was so shallow compared to the other ones. But then again, it's the first game, so now since it's going to be reimagined, can't wait to see
with upgradable weapons.
And with upgradable weapons, and probably the story will still be simple and the same, which I won't mind. But I can't wait to see what it's going to look like.
Yeah, but they did say there'd be new gameplay sections too. So I don't know how much that would change the story, if any. Putting in new gameplay sections, but we'll see.
Maybe.
But yeah, so that's coming April 2016. Let's see what else we got. Okay, here's a big news item. I don't know if this was announced this week or it might have been announced last week, but I don't think you guys touched on it during the podcast.
Lay on me.
But Telltale confirmed that Walking Dead Season 3 of the game won't start until 2016.
Ooh, that's
They're
big
taking they're taking the year off. They're taking 2015 off. They said we're not going to be doing Season 3 this year.
They were pretty darn close to taking 2013 off, but like that was like in December for the first
Yeah, they put it out in
episode.
December.
Yeah.
So they're basically saying, hey, it's not starting in December.
Maybe it'll start in January.
Yeah, in January, probably.
Who knows?
But they did hint that there's still going to be some content this year, so maybe like a 400 days type thing this year.
Well, I own season 2, but yeah, okay.
But yeah, I mean they hinted at it. They said, maybe we'll see something.
Oh, but
Walking Dead this
standalone
year,
you
but
said, so maybe you won't have to have season 2 to play it.
probably because I mean
I
it'd be
hope
really
not.
weird for them to put out like a 400 days thing now, considering season 2 has been already released like physically, and like as a bundle and everything, to be like,
Yeah.
oh, you guys bought all that bundle thing? Well, it's still not done. Here's another episode. On
Because
top
some
of
people
it.
might have sold it or like just don't have the game anymore or something.
Yeah.
So at that point, you make it standalone.
Yeah, it will probably be standalone.
Doesn't have to have a platinum. Just put it out. Just maybe have like freaking 10, 5, 6 trophies on it, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
So that's interesting. They're definitely taking their time probably with this season. Who knows when it's going to be in 2016? We have no idea. And I'm not really even thinking about Walking Dead season 3 at all, to be perfectly honest. So where's Wolf Among Us season 2?
Well, that's
where is that Telltale?
Well, that's
you
just the
change
thing.
your rules.
Well, that's the thing. Telltale's working on so many games right now.
And
It's
projects.
and
being developed.
projects. It's understandable that they're going to kind of like push Walking Dead back and be like, hey, we got other stuff coming out. Like we can't do
Because Walking Dead's really their staple franchise.
Yeah,
Well,
they make
Can't
basically
really say that. I mean, Game of
well-
Thrones is successful and Borderlands is successful.
But
So-
Walking Dead is like super successful. It's because of that game that they're making all these other games.
Yes.
Like basically
and
all the
season
money.
3, not spoiling season 2 or 1, just in case people haven't played it, but even though it's just on sale. But, just we're expecting a major shakeup in season 3's roster and what probably the story might be. So,
Yeah.
it's going to end up being very different. Just kind of how like season 2 was. And I know some people didn't like that, but, it was what it was.
Yeah, because I mean, Telltale's already got. I mean, they already got to finish. They got to finish Game of Thrones this year. They got to finish Tales from the Borderlands. They got that Minecraft game coming out this
Yes.
year.
Uh-huh.
And wasn't there another one? They got that that original.
Yes,
one?
their
Is that-
original IP, and then much later, that's like the future thing, like when we first heard about Game of Thrones years ago, and Wolf Among Us, that Marvel project, but that's just
but that
probably
one-
in early stages.
Yeah, but that Marvel project will be after season 3 of Walking Dead.
You'd hope, right? That you don't know for sure. I mean, who knows? Maybe in 2016, if it's late 2016, that we get the first episode.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
Maybe I would hope so. And then
So I mean, so they got a lot on their plate. So it kind of, it's
it's
understandable.
enough at that point. I highly doubt we're gonna see maybe other announcements at that point. That would be insane if they announce maybe another like project they're like in early stages of. If not, then it's like 2020 at this point. I mean, they got to finish up those series that they have on the plate so far, and then the new IP is going to be a big deal. If it's a possible upgrade to the engine, we'll have to see.
It's like Telltale's going to get all meta. Telltale's going to make a game called Telltale Presents Telltale the Game, and it's going to be you playing as a developer across 5 episodes making a Telltale game.
Man,
Like,
that wouldn't be a bad idea. You working as kind of like a techie guy.
Yeah, working in the office across 5 episodes, trying to hurry and put these games together. Like, oh man, people are complaining our episode's not out on time, and like you see him like in the office and stuff, trying to make these like Walking Dead episodes and these.
You're in QA and you're seeing how like on
QA.
each platform it's running like crap, and you're like, oh god. And then you
You
go
got-
to board meetings and talking about the engine, why it should be upgraded.
And you got to deal with your friends in the office. They're communicating with them and try to keep a friendship and everything, and not piss everybody off. And
Yeah, and then all the branching paths and the story. You basically have like the wall that makes no sense, and everything's connecting to each other, and it's
you put out,
crazy.
and then like in episode 1, you actually put out episode 1. Then episode 2, you start reading reviews of episode 1, and the reviews are based on how well you did in episode 1.
No!
This would be an awesome game.
Sounds like hell.
But
But we'll talk more about episodic games in a second because we did
Yeah.
have one drop this week, which we won't get into spoilers of, by the way, because you haven't played it at all, even of
Yeah.
all the episodes. But we'll talk about it more later. But yeah, it's interesting for Walking Dead season 3. I'm excited to see it soon, if there's
Yeah.
any details on it.
Yeah. We're going to tweet that out to Telltale. Let them see if they want to make a game about themselves.
All right. Well, this podcast is probably going to be linked to a lot of people this week. I will probably Harmonix, Telltale,
Yeah.
whoever else. Maybe the developers of Octodad, which maybe
Oh,
if you want
yeah.
to get into.
Yeah, I didn't put that on the news, but yeah,
Oh,
Octodad comes to Vita next week.
yes, and it does indeed have its own separate trophy list.
Well, there you go. So you
Yep,
can play it
and
again. And
there are some different achievements. Like I
Oh,
think,
really?
for instance, on PS4, I don't believe there was even a trophy for even collecting all the ties. So on the Vita, there's actually a trophy for collecting all the collectibles.
Mm.
And there are other kind of silly little things, dude. There's like the possibility of what like silly little things you could do in that like kind of like game. Not endless, but like there's a lot. So like you could, it just pertains to you doing like silly things, different silly things in the levels.
Yeah.
Um, and then another feature is that there's like local co-op where like two people on one Vita play the game. I don't know. It sounds crazy, but yeah. So look for that next week, and if you already own the PS4 version, you get this for free.
Oh, that's cool. Get that cross-buy going.
Yeah. So I wanted to make sure to put that in there because I liked Octodad for what it was.
Yeah.
It was interesting. It was an interesting little game.
Oh yeah, like that was one of the few digital games I just bought right away. Like just like it's Octodad because this is in that launch window of PS4, and like Octodad was that like hyped up like indie game like oh check out Octodad when it comes to PS4, and then like I got it when it came out day one.
And you're like,
I
what
liked
the
it.
hell is that?
It was fun. Like I played
Yeah,
it, but like anytime somebody would walk in and see what I'm playing, they'd be like, "What the hell are you playing?" I'm like, "Octodad."
And
And
it
they're
doesn't
like-
have the best graphics. It looks like a low end like PC game. And
Yeah.
you
Well, I
know,
mean,
it's not that big of a deal. It's fun.
no,
I
it
mean,
goes for that cartoon aesthetic, where it's like
Yeah.
this is like, like
Well,
the
I mean,
premise
still
is so
things are
much.
blocky like in the environment. Like it still looks like
Well,
you know,
fine. It's a Nickelodeon cartoon, all right? Ain't no Pixar cartoon,
a Nickelodeon cartoon.
So. Yeah, that's about right. How far as the looks of the game is.
Yeah. I mean, it is a small indie team, so I can't blame them. And then it's gonna look right at home on Vita then.
No.
So, because the other day, someone was proposing like the idea of how like save the Vita in 3 steps, release like a bundle of like GTA and GTA 4, and then someone else had said, can GTA 4 even run on the Vita? And someone was like, well, you can't really even have Borderlands 2 properly running on the Vita. So what makes you think GTA 4 could be on the Vita? Like a GTA 4 remaster on the Vita, or if you even want to call it that. But yeah, I don't think a GTA 4 would be possible on the Vita. Like a full-blown 3D. Well, not of that caliber, even though that game's like really old. But
I mean, yeah, GTA is possible in Vita, just not a pre-existing one. You have to build one.
not
for
a pre-existing one. You have to build one from the ground up. But I mean, you could bring back those top-down ones, or even possibly not like bring over the HD editions of the older ones to Vita. Those would work just fine. But like a full-blown,
Well, I
GTA
mean, yeah, because you can already bring over the PSP games onto your Vita.
Yes.
Like you can load the PSP games on your Vita. So
yeah, unfortunately, you can't earn trophies, but that's okay.
No.
But
oh yeah,
Yeah.
they re-released China Wars again for Vita. Just because
trophies, hell yeah, I'll play that.
like GTA, like Rockstar's like, please buy this game. It's really good.
Yeah,
Because
that would be a good idea.
yeah, because I never played Chinatown Wars, but everybody kept saying it's so good, but
Yeah,
no one
it
played it.
is.
Like
It's a lot of fun.
no one bought it. Like no one bought it on DS, and they had to put it on PSP, and that sold a bit more. But
Yeah,
It's like-
on PC.
it's like the one Grand Theft Auto game that just didn't sell. Which is weird to think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was kind of like their experimentation of like, I wonder if we went back to like what the olden days of GTA was like.
Oh yeah, the GTA 1 and 2.
Yeah. And it seemed like it worked out decently. I mean, a lot of people like that game, and just probably and the overall numbers just didn't translate that. And it came after GTA 4, and
Yeah.
it was just a weird. It was a weird game, but it was good.
Mhm. Yeah.
But that's on the Vita front.
That's on Vita
that
front.
week. Yeah.
Yeah.
So next week, more stuff.
More stuff.
And what else we got?
Okay. Okay, well, you guys talked about it last week, but
Yes.
the new Assassin's Creed got announced last week.
Syndicate.
Yeah, Syndicate got announced, and you guys went over it, how you felt about it, and all that. So,
Yeah.
but one little piece of news that came out of it was that came out a little bit after the announcement from Ubisoft was that it was announced as a PS4 and Xbox One and PC game, right?
Yes. Just like
They
Unity.
did, yeah, just like
Oh.
Unity. So there's no talk of like a last gen game or anything. You know, like
yeah.
is there gonna be another Assassin's Creed for PS3 or what is it? Well, Ubisoft actually clarified and said they said in an interview or something they were like Ubisoft said like we are not developing any more last gen games.
Not even Just Dance.
No, I think Just Dance is the one exception. I think that's what they said.
That's one. But I guess
The
out
one-
of all the other major players, no more.
Yeah, they said. I think that's actually what they said. They said excluding Just Dance, we aren't making any last gen games anymore. So there will be no Assassin's Creed for PS3 this year.
Good. I mean, at this point, just axe it because I mean we have yet to hear even when the other Assassin's Creed Rogue, right?
Yeah.
Will come to PS4. We haven't heard anything of that yet. Maybe it might be like a year after, so we maybe have to wait a little bit more. I would like to play Rogue. Maybe try it out a little bit, see how it is. Just put it out as a download. You don't even have to bother putting a physical release.
Or maybe they'll just do like they did with I don't know. A lot of PS3 games were doing that, where like the whole game's pre-installed on another game.
Oh,
you know?
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Like when you bought Bioshock Infinite, it had Bioshock 1 on the disc, or when you bought Assassin's Creed Revelations, it came with
we
Assassin's
haven't had a
Creed
game
1.
like that on PS4 though.
Yeah.
So maybe that could be a possibility.
Yeah. Like the PS4 exclusive, like the exclusive thing for this one.
Oh.
Like
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Throw Rogue in there.
If maybe they can't do it on a disc, just have it as like a download voucher.
Yeah,
inside
as a download voucher. Yeah, something like that.
There you go. That's a good idea. Yeah, for Syndicate, maybe as a PS4 bonus, you get Rogue for free on PS4. The PS4 version of Rogue. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe then if that's like a not a pre-order, I doubt that would be behind a pre-order paywall. But if it's like a limited edition run of the game, I'll buy it.
Yeah,
I probably will.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But yeah, I'm playing more of Unity for the sake of playing Unity a bit more and getting more of a feel for it before Syndicate comes out and see how they compare. But we'll see. I'm excited to see more of Syndicate soon.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a big thing though. Ubisoft is not going to be making last-gen games anymore, and that needs to kind of spread to more of these developers. Because I mean, we're seeing it more and more. Where like we are moving on. Like I think I said this before in the podcast and previous episodes. Like this is the year to upgrade to a next-gen system. You know, because developers are moving to only making their games for the new systems, and a lot of these developers are doing that. Like Activision's doing that now. Like the new Call of Duty. As far as we know, it's only on the new systems because because they're really vague on whether or not we're getting a PS3 version. They haven't said no, but they've been vague on it.
Yeah.
But Ubisoft.
I would think if by E3 we don't hear anything about it, then it's not coming.
Yeah, but like Ubisoft already said that no, they're not making any more PS3 games or 360 games. We're seeing this with Activision. With Call of Duty, we're seeing this with like recent games like The Witcher's only on the new systems, Batman's only on the new systems. And even with games that even have a last gen version, they're not even really anything. Like they confirmed yesterday that the new NHL hockey game, the 2016 version, is basically it's only coming to PS4 and Xbox One and PC. Like it's only on the new systems. If you do buy a PS3 version of that game, it's just a legacy edition where there's no changes. It's just last year's version. But with like the roster update basically.
Oh wow.
So, that's a sports game. I mean, yeah, hockey's not as big as like Madden or something, but it's still, an EA sports game kind of saying,
it's still a staple for that company. And people take it seriously.
Yeah, saying, hey, we're only making an next-gen version. But of course, Madden's still coming to everything this year. I think it might still be a while before they say no Madden, on PS3.
Yeah, well, that's going to be a while. I mean, how long did it take for PS2? Not that long. The PS2 was not that long. Yeah. Because PS2 could not handle it, but with like PS3, it has at least a little bit of a lasting power due to the fact that it's online system. PS2 was also, but not to the extent what PS3 was. Yeah. So,
and like I said, they're just we're seeing even if developers do put out a last gen version, it's still just not the same. Like I said, NHL is just a legacy edition, so it's not even a new game. And then Activision announced that that Tony Hawk game, Pro Skater 5, they said the PS3 360 version won't even have online play. There'll be no online components to that game.
Mm.
Because they already said that like the PS3 version or the last gen version is going to be it's only going to be $40, so they're going to knock $20 off the price because they're not putting any online function in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's coming out at a later date than the next gen version, whenever that is. They don't have a release date yet. But like I said, just showing more like the last gen version is really kind of just dying off in the developers' eyes.
Yeah, and we also had numbers for EA's Battlefield Hardline, and they were happy with the results. With and I had people that bought the next gen versions of the game, no, not next gen, current gen versions of the game for Battlefield Hardline specifically. So, we're seeing the transition, and it's happening. I've joked around with so many people that I've talked to about like, oh, should you upgrade to PS4? And I jokingly say like, oh, you're not missing much. Like, I kind of jokingly say that, but like, I think by the time, even after even this week with Witcher, I think it's time. Like, I don't think any more of that joking is applied anymore. I think now is the time to upgrade. And with all these bundles that are being released recently and all these deals, like for instance, right now we have PS4 with Last of Us and The Order 1886, which is a great bundle. So and then Xbox is going to have its options too with Master Chief Collection, and just a white Xbox, which is going to be neat. So I think it's the time for a lot of people to start upgrading.
Oh yeah, like I said, I think too. Like I said, just because of the games, like we're seeing so many games now, coming only to the new systems, and there's the big franchises, the big things like we said, Witcher, Batman. Even the music games, Rock Band 4 is only on the new systems.
Yes. Yeah, and even though I also tell people it's mainly third party, at least on PlayStation 4 front right now. But I think in the long run, there's going to be a whole lot of first party software as well. So we're just going to have to see. E3's coming, so that's when we expect a lot of first party games to be announced, and third party, even more third party. Third party's fine. I mean, it's been fueling the PS4. I know the last exclusive I really played was Order 1886. So. Yeah. I mean, we've been surviving fine with that, with all the third-party games. It's been plenty.
Yeah,
they've been helping.
Yeah, so it's good that we're seeing developers embrace this next gen. So now we're going to get bigger, better games because of it. Not necessarily being held back by the previous generation, trying to make it work on all the systems. Yeah,
they'll be bigger, more complex. Won't be held back. That was the early statement of the original PS4 back when it was first announced. I mean, we've seen it. We've seen definitely glimpses of it, but I just feel like in the back of my head there's still maybe hold back because of old systems. So now, hopefully by 2015's end, we won't have that anymore.
Yeah.
Little to none of that. I mean, there's still going to be those games. I really point to Telltale again, since, their games are released on everything no matter what. So, I mean, if they're on iPhone, they can also be on PS3. So, there'll be those here and there, Lego games and whatnot. But I think other than that, you're going to probably see just about everyone dedicate themselves to current gen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I've been kind of surprised that we're still getting Metal Gear Solid 5 on last gen. It just didn't seem like...
It was a goal ever since the beginning. So,
I know it was their goal, and they didn't want to abandon it, but it just kind of seemed like... I don't know. I just didn't kind of see, from what I've seen of Metal Gear Solid 5, I'm just kind of having trouble seeing that running to its full potential on PS3.
Maybe we'll see. I think it's definitely going to be held back some. But I mean, Ground Zero. I mean, no, I know it was Ground Zeroes, but Ground Zeroes look decent on PS3. But who knows what Phantom Pain is?
Yeah, and I mean, because we've seen games where they've canceled their last gen version because it just wasn't working. Like Dying Light canceled their last gen version. Mad Max canceled their last gen version.
Yes. Shadow of Mordor should have canceled their last gen version. Unfortunately. So I had to get held back somewhat by that. I mean, even though the game still looked really good on PS4, but the PS3 version was a catastrophe. Thank goodness nobody talked about it really, though. Like, it didn't really have many reviews, and the YouTube videos for it are really low. Like, you really have to dig deep into it. So, like, that lesser version of that game, thank goodness not a lot of people know about it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
But we'll see. So like I said, developers changing, moving stuff. Another interesting point though about that Assassin's Creed thing. One thing I noticed, again, it might be a sign of change in the way they're making games or putting them out. The release date for Assassin's Creed Syndicate is October 23rd, 2015.
Yeah.
And what's thing about that is that's a Friday. So this is kind of that thing where like we're seeing games now come out on Fridays, or we're seeing more games come out on Fridays.
Black Ops 3.
Yeah, because Black Ops 3 is coming out on a Friday. Assassin's Creed's coming out on a Friday, and we've seen a lot of like Sony games come out on Friday. Like The Order came out on Friday. Infamous Second Son came out on a Friday, and because it's we're seeing more of it. Like before, it used to be like every once in a while a game will come out on a Friday. Like Skyrim came out on a Friday, but that was because they wanted to hit that November 11th, 2011 date.
Yeah.
I think
so did Uncharted. Uncharted was also, even though it wasn't on the same day, it was like around. It was
November. It was November 1st, 2011. So they did 11/1/11, and Skyrim did 11/11/11.
Yeah.
And then I think like other games came out on Friday. I think like Gears of War came out on Friday. One of them.
I think this kind of trend now is great because it's also the convenience of the weekend. Friday, the weekend's here. That's one thing, and then also, if episodic, since we're having a lot of episodic games currently running right now, if an episodic game comes out on a Tuesday, and then to have like a AAA release on a Tuesday, that's not really good. And other indie games that might possibly come out like on the same day because those indie games really need their time to shine. So even if a couple days helps, it helps especially on launch week. So it's good that maybe there's some space now if AAA games start releasing on Friday now, which is great. So it's just also for that convenience as well. So I hope it continues. Yeah, I think Fridays is just fine.
Yeah, I think Friday is a good day to start.
Tuesday gets crazy, and then especially with people who work or have school or anything like that, it gets too crazy. So it's time for that to change as well. It's definitely changing.
Oh yeah. I think like you said, it works better. It just kind of leaves more into the weekend once you get your game and
then to the folks that release indie games on Tuesday on the same date as Witcher 3 or something like that, but there wasn't any games.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it helps too with like something like Call of Duty or like competitive multiplayer. Like, if you put the game out on a Friday and you have the weekend, you have more people playing it. Where like if it came out on a Tuesday, you got people that are working or have school and they can't play the competitive. You got other people who are going to sit there and keep playing it all week and get that heads up in the competitive multiplayer.
I know, and that's why I hated when Call of Duty Advanced Warfare had a Day 0 edition, and I refused it because I get my Call of Duty games day 1. I don't get them on day 0. And so I got Advanced Warfare on day 1, and I didn't like the fact that they had a Day 0 edition. And as far as I can tell, I mean, even though there's a beta for Black Ops 3, as far as I can tell, there's not you can't get the whole game one day early, so, which I'm happy about. So, and then Black Ops 3 is being released on a Friday, so that's going to be great.
But you love watching movies on day 0.
Yes, Thursday. But that's for movies. That's a one-trip shop, movies but movies are different. Movies is a one-trip shop, I'm done. Games, whole lot longer. Especially if it's Call of Duty or multiplayer or some complex thing, it's going to be crazy. And then, with Rock Band, we don't know its exact release date yet, even though we're going to talk about that game in great depth later with a bunch of viewer mail questions. But, I don't know. Maybe that game might be released on a Friday. Who knows? Rocking the weekend out.
Oh, that would be nice. I would like it to come out on a Friday.
And as a pre-order bonus, you get working for the weekend because it's released on a weekend. And that song is in Rock Band, so bam, easy. Anyways, what else do we have? Is there more?
We got one more thing.
Because I want to go to the viewer mail before we get to the main topic of the week, which I'm pretty sure I'm really itching to get to. But yeah, you go whatever.
Okay, well, we got one more thing we can go over real quick.
Right.
E3's in a couple weeks.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I don't know. We're probably gonna discuss outside the podcast what's our E3 plan, how we're going to cover it.
Well, it's mainly PlayStation. We don't go over. Well, if it pertains to PlayStation, that as a bias just in terms of time. Yeah, we mainly go over PlayStation.
It's not like we're going to do a whole podcast where we go over like the Microsoft conference. We go over the Nintendo Direct, or we don't go over the Sony conference. We'll go over the Sony conference.
And maybe
Probably.
whatever's EA and whatever, if those games are on that system, if it's on Vita, even we'll go over
Yeah.
it. But
I mean, we'll probably do a whole episode where we just go over the Sony press conference, like break down the news and how we feel about it.
yeah, because like if we did that podcast at the time of something like PSX, we would have to do like a whole thing on PSX because PSX was so awesome.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we'll probably do something like that.
crazy.
We'll probably just do one whole episode just going over the PlayStation conference and kind of what came out of it and how we feel it went. And then we'll do another episode where it's just everyone else, like the Bethesda, the EA, the Ubisoft, all kind of like rolled into one. We'll kind of go over that as like other. That's like other.
Other.
Other, yeah.
They'll
But-
be worthy others though.
Yeah, so be worth the others. Because one of those others just confirmed one of their games they're going to be showing off. It's pretty exciting. Bethesda confirmed that they're going to be showing off Doom 4, or just Doom, I guess that's going to be called,
Excited for Doom.
at E3.
Finally, my Wolfenstein beta will be worth something. It's just like how long you had to wait for the Elder Scrolls Online beta.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited for Doom. Doom is looking sweet. I cannot wait for this game. And already for what I've seen of id, well, of the, even though it wasn't id, but it was Machine Games with Wolfenstein, and I love that game so much, so I can't wait to see Doom, even though they're going to be really different games. But
Yeah, because gameplay's already been shown off at, like, what was it, QuakeCon a year
a
ago?
long time ago. And
Yeah, people saw it.
I had to find leak footage of that and whatnot, like screen caps, but now it's going to be officially revealed to the public, I'm so excited. Well, for a full public release. I mean, that was a public event, but it was very closely knit. It wasn't everywhere.
Yeah, it didn't quite leak out,
So, yeah, not really. I had to really dig deep for stuff on that. So, this time, you don't have to dig so deep. It'll probably be on its official YouTube or whatnot. So, I'm so excited. I hope. Man, this is how Bethesda does it. You start with Doom, and then you end with Fallout. You don't do Fallout in the beginning. Because, don't start with
because
Fallout. That was the unfortunate thing with Sony last year with Uncharted 4. They started with Uncharted 4, and then everything else after it was just like, okay. Yeah, because it's the same thing with, I mean, even though Doom's going to be really sweet, like, it's probably, I don't think people should underestimate how sweet Doom's going to be, but you start with Doom, and then you have everything else, possibly Dishonored 2, a Wolf, talk about how successful Old Blood was, because they've been pretty happy with the success of that downloadable game, and then possibly announce a sequel to Wolfenstein New Order, and then have Fallout 4. Bam! You win. You win E3 just with all that software. That's what's so cool. That this is. I mean, and PlayStation might talk about hardware as well with Morpheus. So that's technically hardware. But with Bethesda, it's seeming like an all software conference. Same with Microsoft as well. If they talk about
I don't think Bethesda's going to announce any hardware. Like here's our Bethesda system.
Whoa!
Guess what? Fallout 4 is only on it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's oh my god. Everybody would like lose their minds if they announce a system and you can and Fallout 4 is only on it. And it's like, what?
Yeah, that would never happen. That's a real alternate dimension.
Basically, it's called the Fallout 4 console because that's the only thing it plays is Fallout 4. You have to buy a whole console just to play Fallout 4.
You just call it the Vault Box.
Yeah, the Vault Box. There you go.
But yeah, exciting stuff.
But
for Bethesda.
Yeah, we'll probably do I don't know. Should be next week or the week after. We're probably gonna do an E3 prediction episode.
We'll see. We'll definitely talk about this outside. Given that the stuff that we have right now, we got to get a move on.
We're gonna move outside and schedule out on the outside. But we have E3 stuff planned. We're getting excited for that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So was that about it? Because I do have some things before.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's it. We can move on to viewer mail or whatever you have.
On the PlayStation Store currently right now, which is a really cool thing that you can do right now, is for the donations for the earthquake in Nepal, which I saw. I already donated a couple dollars and then got the theme. So for people out there that haven't really seen it yet on the store, because it's kind of you don't have to dig that deep, but like you have to indeed click a little bit a couple more times. But what's great about this is that 100% of the proceeds go, which is great. So like, because if it wasn't 100%, I wasn't going to do it. So 100% goes in, you get a theme. The theme looks quite nice. It's a little easy on the eyes, which I like, especially if I play at night. So I like it. Definitely for folks out there that have PSN money or money that not to burn, but actually to give away to help a great cause. I believe this goes to the American Red Cross, so you can't really get any better than that. So, you know, do that if you please. You could go from 2 to 100, I believe. And as probably a lot of folks out there know, Life is Strange episode 3 came out this week. And I'll put a disclaimer out there that this is only going to be minor spoilers. I'm gonna say a couple things because of this somewhat stupid question I got about the game, which I was really reluctant to even put for this week's podcast. But given that I had played it and whatnot, we'll have to see, because I think this is a person that's probably in the minority here of what he's thinking right here. So we're going to probably go into this before we get to the main topic at hand, and we're going to try not to go too overboard with this, because this is quite a bit of a topic here. With Life is Strange episode 3, which was very good, by the way. It was a bit repetitive gameplay wise, with you just basically investigating into other people's shit like all the time, like you digging. That's basically all the episode was. I loved the aesthetic of the episode. It was fantastic. I loved how it took place during the nighttime, so like the graphics were way better because like it masked all like the bad textures of the game, so like it looked really good. So and then my god, that ending. But I won't get into that. Alright, let's get into the question though, so then we can get to the other topic already. Let me see who this is from. I want to get the name at least, not the PSN ID. I'll probably cover this PSN ID because this question was quite weird. Alright, this one comes from Brian. And disclaimer on the question, I believe he hasn't even played episode 3 yet, so I think this is just an assumption that he's making. He says, after watching the trailer for episode 3 of Life is Strange, there is a scene where both Max and Chloe are sleeping together. Do you think the game will let you go as far as choosing your own sexual orientation? This would be quite monumental, since this is rarely seen in games of this type. And maybe he's referring to like Mass Effect or like Dragon Age. I don't know. After playing episode 3, I could tell you that's not true. I mean, even though you have the option to just play around and like even kiss, the main character's Max, and even though you have the choice to kiss Chloe, it was just really just a joke. And it wasn't really anything to do, because even though you could make a choice, right? And then you can rewind and make a different one. Mm-hmm. And she jokingly says like, and I did of course kiss Chloe first to like see what would happen, and then rewind and not do it, so then my character would make it as she didn't. So, and then she like jokingly said after like, you probably rewind and probably did it and then went back and didn't do it. So that was a nice touch. No, I mean, in the story, Max is really portrayed as a straight character. I mean, she has like a boy that she has a crush on. Chloe, same deal as well. You kind of get into what maybe her past relationships were with boys, and yeah, she talks about girl crushes, but come on, like a lot of girls have girl crushes anyways, so that's not like a big deal. And at first, maybe when I thought of this question before I played episode 3, I was like thinking like, maybe do you press the X button to be straight, circle to be bi, or square to be gay, or I mean a lesbian? That's what I was thinking. But I mean,
be like really
I know
black
that would
and
be
white,
pretty funny.
Point out there.
But no, the short answer to that is really no. Brian here, you really need to play episode 3. I believe he had told me he hasn't even played episode 2 yet, so I don't know why he's watching a trailer for 3 when it spoils 2. So, But, yeah, Brian, go play episode 2 and 3. Episode 2 was really great. 3's very good as well. So, I kind of hope that answered your question there. So, and I forgot, we do have one more, but this doesn't pertain to Life is Strange, since we don't have to talk about that anymore. This one comes from Christopher. He asks about a new feature about Spotify. He says that seeing as Spotify just added the ability to view videos and original programming, will the app on PS4 soon get updated to take advantage of these new features?
Maybe.
Well, seeing as how that pertains to you having the full-on Spotify that you had paid for, I would hope that maybe soon that the app does indeed get updated so where you can view these videos. I mean, the app is only on version 1.0 and it works just fine, but now that these new features got introduced today, I think definitely it'll probably come very soon. They just probably just have to get the update rolling out, get it approved by Sony, and just get it out there soon. So I think definitely look for an update on that soon. Um, yeah, it seems interesting so far. You can view original programming and TED Talks and everything, and I know people like their TED Talks, but yeah, they even advertise it like, listen to TED Talks before you go to bed. I'm like, well, yeah, sometimes because, yeah, those put me to sleep. So, it depends who you listen to. But maybe we could be a Spotify original programmer. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Have Spotify hit us up. I'll definitely tag you as well, Spotify, because you respond to a lot of people. That'd be great
Spotify.
because we're on PlayStation. You know.
Oh yeah, we're looking for now. Yeah, we're looking for more outlets.
Yeah, that'd be great. Spotify to do that for us, get a deal. You know, I mean, even though they're behind the scenes deal, we probably won't get that much money, but it's something. It's exposure.
Oh yeah.
I'd be happy to see that. So, yeah. So I kind of hope that answers it, Christopher. I'm pretty sure you're going to see that very soon. So there's no need to be alarmed on missing features on PS4 on Spotify on that. I believe that's it for until now. Our big topic of the week. We got so many questions about one particular game. So we might go a little OT, but not too OT because can only listen about this game for so long, even though we'll talk about it right now. Rock Band 4 had the gameplay reveal last week.
Yep.
It was very interesting, to say the least. They also revealed the first 6 songs for the game. By any chance, do you have the list? I mean, I remember them. I mean, yeah, I remember them, but I don't know if by any chance you have the list here.
No, I don't have the list in front of me.
I mean, well, where do you begin? Where do you begin with Rock Band 4?
Well, it's a good 6 songs. Like,
yes, it's a very good 6 songs, but at the same time, I feel like it played a little safe. Like, I think it was because at first I was like, did they release this already? That's the thing, because like Fleetwood Mac has already been in Rock Band a lot. Ben Sevenfold has clearly been in Rock Band a lot. I mean, Hail to the King came out after they stopped doing the DLC, so that made sense. I don't know. I like the songs. All of them are great. I just think maybe it played it a bit safe, but that's only like a fraction.
Yeah, that's only a fraction of the thing.
It's a small fraction of what it's actually going to be.
Yeah. Plus, some of these like they got the Who in there, and like the Who is one of those bands where they always feature a Who song in every game. Like every main game has at least one Who song on the main track.
I feel like it was because Rock Band 3. When you look at Rock Band 3, it was like such a very strange, and that one's probably my favorite out of all the main games, and because that one it was a weird main set list, but yeah, the Who was also in Rock Band 3 as well, and this Who song I definitely remember from GTA 4. So, that's great. And, the Who hasn't been in Rock Band in a while. So that's great to see. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I want to see the rest. So definitely soon, probably when E3 rolls around in the rest of the summer. So I'm excited. These are great. They're good. Definitely doesn't pertain to any keys parts at all in any of these songs. So there you go. So there's no hope really for keys to return. But, maybe we should start answering the questions that we have about Rock Band 4, and then let's talk about it as we progress.
Yeah.
And as a disclaimer here, I want to give a shout out to the people who have submitted these questions. These are my top resident Rock Band players that I played with online in Rock Band 2 and Rock Band 3 and the Beatles Rock Band. And I'm very happy to... Well, some of these people haven't even converted to PS4 yet. So and they definitely are for Rock Band 4, so that's definitely something there.
Cool. They're your bandmates.
Mm-hmm. Yo, these are my bandmates. I'll go over who I even put in parentheses who plays what. Kind of give you a perspective of what maybe he's asking, but I don't know. They didn't really ask questions specifically about what instrument they play, but it doesn't matter. All right, this one comes from Austin, and disclaimer: all these people have watched live streams, so they kind of get an idea. So these are more deeper questions into it, not simple stuff.
Okay.
Some of it might be. This one comes from Austin, and he's like a drummer, and I've known him for a while from online on the Rock Band forums. Top like leaderboard dude, like in drums, insane guy. He's crazy. After watching the IGN Rock Band 4 live stream, I was left confused on if there's a weekly DLC plan that has followed previous Rock Band titles.
Well, here's the thing. They Hermonks already said that that's to be determined, basically.
Yes.
But they sound confident, like that they'll probably get a weekly content out.
Yeah.
Like that. Like it sounds like they want weekly content because they said it's up to the fans. If the fans will support us and they want weekly content, we'll produce weekly content.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically kind of what they've said. So it's looking likely. It's looking likely we'll get weekly content.
Great. At least 3 a week. That I will be happy with.
Yeah.
3 a week I think is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean I didn't have much to like maybe speculate on that, so I'm glad that you answered that. The second question that he asks here is given that Harmonix had a canceled Rock Band title to create your own music, do you guys see elements taken from that unfinished game and put into new training modes? Possibly. Like
No.
maybe no, like you don't see
No.
like maybe not an area in which you create your own music, but like different sort of training modes, possibly for drums. I think maybe he assumes here because that's really the only main trainer you have in Rock Band, drums. And then you have keys and pro guitar, but those are not in Rock Band 4.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, like I said, maybe just for drums. But yeah, they've already stressed that they want this to be the core Rock Band experience. They don't really want it to be a learning tool or anything like that. Like, because they know Rocksmith is doing that now as a learning tool.
Oh, but I think maybe he pertains here for drums. I think because that's what I was thinking because he's a drum player and maybe he was thinking like maybe you make your own beats or something like that in a training mode to like practice. Maybe that's what he's thinking.
I don't think there'd be any type of like crate tools in the game, but
I
think
like
maybe
not on the line of Guitar Hero what it did in the past. No.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, if anything, it would be drums. They would probably put that in there, like when you go into like just what they call it, freestyle mode or whatever, where you just practice. Maybe some stuff in there, but I don't expect any like full creation tools in there at all.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. All right. And this one comes from my vocalist, Kimmy.
All right.
And she has 3 questions here. A lot of concerns mainly in this one, so we'll have to take into opinion on that first. All right. She says, although painful to watch, how do you guys feel that Harmonix would let the world see a very rough version of the game? I know it won't look like this at launch, but given that E3 is just weeks away, gets me worried that it could get delayed into December or early next year. I really hope that the song selection screen is also getting an overhaul as well. Maybe she doesn't like the song selection screen. I mean, I didn't really get a chance to really look at that. Yeah. The song selection screen, I don't know. But
yeah. Well, here's the thing about
this was concern.
Yeah, this was a concern. Okay. Well, here's the thing. I mean, the main game looks fine. Like, I mean, I don't know how much more you can do with it.
Do notes.
With the notes or whatever.
Yeah.
But as far as song selection, see, here's the thing too. Like that mode they were playing on that IGN live stream was what they call the like inlet. I guess I don't know what they call it exactly, but it's basically like an endless mode. Where you basically load a song
and you vote for what you want, which is really cool.
And load up. So yeah, that's cool. So maybe that one menu that pops up is maybe just when you're in endless mode. I doubt it though. That's probably is it, like the selection menu.
Mm-hmm. I think she was talking about the main selection menu when you actually like pick out a song and then actually play.
I didn't see that. I did see as they were playing, they stopped it and then came to a selection menu, but that might be like a mini version of it because you're still in the endless mode.
Well, yeah, that definitely is a mini mode, but I don't know. She told me that when I was talking to her in in the party on PS4 that she wasn't a fan of before you actually had like started it. Like what it was like your music collection, like you were able to scroll. Okay, and I went back and checked, and maybe because it didn't show the difficulties. I know it's early. It was pre-alpha. I hope maybe people kind of knew that. I mean, I was surprised it wasn't like displayed on the screen.
I think the menus will probably change before launch.
I think those will change greatly.
Yeah, but what you see the game, that's the game. The gameplay. But yeah, I think the menus is probably something they probably put together. I don't want to say last minute, but like that wasn't their part. That wasn't
it's something that they had to put together for this.
To run it, to kind of like select the song and go through it for live stream. But I don't think that was like final build, like as you see of like the menu and stuff, because like you said, it's an early build. But the main game, that's the game. The menus are something they're probably going to touch up and make better before launch. That's just like you said, just for the sake of the live stream. That's just what they had to go through the songs.
I think all of the aesthetics of the game. I mean, Dude, I think I remember like the very first Rock Band, right? Like how that looked like
Oh
pre,
yeah.
like, and then how they turned that around when it first came out. Like that was way different.
Oh yeah, like when you see the first gameplay of Rock Band, they had like the round buttons,
And
like
like, and it
the
was
round
not even
notes.
the same. The song wasn't even in there, right? Guns N' Roses,
Yeah,
right?
yep. Every time they would show Rock Band playing, they would sing "Welcome to the Jungle," and that song wasn't even in the final game.
It sucks. That would have been funny on the jungle. Just say, "Hey, you guys can play Welcome to the Jungle."
No, it would be
Not having-
great. It would be great if that song is actually in Rock Band 4. Like, finally, that song is here. After 4 games, you're finally getting that song. That
and all the
showed you.
DLC later.
Yeah, and all that DLC through all those years of DLC and games, we are finally getting that first song we showed you on our demo, on our demo thing. Of
way
Rock
back
Band
in
1.
'07.
Yeah, it's finally
I think
here.
I'm trying to remember back when I talked to her last week. I think also her voice concern for the song selection screen, the main one, song selection screen, that there was no album art. Again, that was the same thing that you had said, but that's just like a main concern that she had. Like you didn't see difficulty, you didn't see album art, but then again, same thing that you had just said like a minute ago.
Yeah,
Same
all
for
that.
things there.
Yeah, all that's going to be fixed. I think, yeah, they're not going to backtrack, I think, on the menu. They're going to have the difficulty in the album art and all that. You know?
Yeah. Next question she asks her, and then she has 2 more, and still more concerns. She's still left unclear on the vocal improv feature and how it works in making songs possibly easier for casuals.
Yeah, see, that was the thing. It's going to be one of those things where we're not really going to figure it out until we actually play it ourselves, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But from what it looked like in the live stream, this is what I thought too. It kind of made me a little worried. Like, so basically, what if you go off note? As long as you fill the bubble, you're still gonna get perfect or expert or whatever. What was it? Awesome.
But then again, it was raising and then it said improv, so maybe it just counts as an improv and not the actual like part of the song. So like you don't actually ace it, you just get points for like maybe doing the improv.
Yeah, like maybe if you like, let's say you're playing and you fill it up in improv, you don't get a multiplier. You just not fail.
Yeah, right.
That might be
and
what
it doesn't
is.
count like for your actual progression of like the song. It'll still like knock you percentage wise probably.
Yeah, but like if you kept let's say you kept filling up the bubble through improv, you wouldn't fail the song. You just wouldn't get as high as the score probably.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, I do get that point because I noticed that in the live stream. It kind of made me wonder if like, oh, you can go completely off key and just ace a song,
Yeah.
but you can't because I like you said, I don't think you get a multiplier. I don't think you're really going to.
I didn't see it in the live stream, and I went
Not-
back and like watched like maybe the archive thing, and I did not see it like progress.
Yeah.
Granted, we know it's a pre-alpha, but you never know. I don't know.
Yeah, because for those who don't know what we're talking about, they announced this improv thing, and it's really weird. And basically, it was like, okay, like when you play Rock Band vocals in the first games, you have that circle you have to fill up, when you stay on key or whatever. But like if you go off key, the bubble fills up with a different color. So you can have a mix of what they call improv and the actual like song, and like you fill the whole bubble up, you still get like an awesome rating or whatever.
Yeah, which is pretty neat. I think, it looks neat.
But what we're concerned about is like, does that make the game easier? Like in the sense that like, oh, if I put it to expert, I can still be off key and still fill the bubble up and get a high score. And we want to say no. We want to say if you just fill up through improv, you won't get a multiplier, you won't get as much points. But we don't know. We won't know until we play it for ourselves and see.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see that.
But that's just what we're going to assume though, is how improv works.
Yeah. So I hope that explains it a bit more. And you're also a main vocal player in Rock Band, so
Yeah, I play vocals a lot, so I'm going to notice right away if it works or not.
Mm-hmm. And then this one kind of deals with a bit of marketing. This also comes from Kimmy. She asks, with the absence of keys at launch, should harmonics heavily advertise that harmonies are being added to the back catalog of Rock Band songs?
I don't know if they need to heavily advertise it, because really that's more for the fans, like saying, hey, all the songs you bought, guess what? They have harmonies now, like as a thank you really to the fans who are coming back and supporting, the game.
Yeah.
Because like if you're new to Rock Band, if Rock Band 4, like let's say Rock Band 4 is your first one and you play it on PS4, all those old DLC songs are just going to be DLC to you. It's not going to be like backlog. You're not going to question, oh, does this support harmonies or not? No, you're going to buy it expecting it to, because it's, in your mind it's just Rock Band 4 DLC.
Yeah, if the song itself actually does have multiple vocals in it.
Yeah. Like for the fans there, we know like Harmonix confirmed that they're going to go back and add harmonies to the old songs.
Yes,
and
and collaborating with the Harmonies Project, which is great because we've seen for years that YouTube channel. That YouTube channel I've looked was been around for years, and they have done just about every single Rock Band song. So I'm like, at that point, I'm like, why doesn't Harmonix hire these guys and do it? Because I watched like their extensive like tutorial video. I'm like, my God, just might as well just hire them and like do it, because they already have, if they already have everything authored, you just take it and then put it into their actual game, and then they did it. So which is really good. Yeah, I'm very happy that that's there.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't think that's something that really needs to be promoted, saying, "Hey, we're upgrading your DLC," because the thing is, the DLC carries over automatically. You just have to re-download it, and as you re-download, you're going to see it as you play. Like, oh, this has harmonies now, you know. And like I said, for people who are new to the game, they're not going to like really question, like, oh, does this have harmonies or not? No, they're just going to buy it.
Okay.
So that's another thing too I didn't think about till just now. Like, if you are new to Rock Band, how overwhelming is that going to be day one when you see all that DLC you can buy?
I mean, if you're like brand new, I mean, I remember when I was new, like, because the first Rock Band I purchased was 2, and of course I was overwhelmed at the time how many songs there were, but, I was concerned with, really mastering the main one first, and then, like, as, like, time progressed, I got, like, the DLC, but yeah, at that point when you're in 4 and there's, like, so much there, I mean, depending on how many songs you, subjectively like, then, you're gonna need some deep pockets.
I've been with Rock Band since day one, so like I got the first DLC. They only had at launch. They only had 3 songs to buy at launch, and there were all 3 of them were Metallica songs. So I bought the Metallica pack day one with my game.
Too bad that probably won't be in Rock Band 4. You probably can't use it.
Yeah, you can.
Well, I mean, it's not in the store anymore.
The old ones?
Yeah, the old Metallica songs are not in the store anymore.
Oh yeah, I don't know about those. The ones that they lost the license to. If you're gonna be able to re-download them.
Yeah, and then
you can. Because you can re-download them on PS3.
Yeah, you can re-download them if you're on PS3, but on PS4, I mean, if they're going to convert that to 4, that would be like a separate download. So, like, I doubt it would be there, or any of the other songs that lost their license.
Well, maybe they're going to get the license back now that they're moving on to Rock Band 4. Maybe they'll try to get the licenses back.
I hope so.
We'll see.
Oh, then that means license for Metallica back, and we get like a whole. Oh my God, that would be amazing. We get basically Metallica back in Rock Band if that happens. I hope so. But
We'll see. Somebody needs to ask Harmonix about that. Like, tweet at him, like, "Hey, if I bought the Metallica pack day one back in 2007, can I download it to my PS4 in 2015?" I mean,
I don't want to say I know, but I'm heavily assuming no. I mean, I don't think any of the songs that were taken off the store recently or have lost their license. I think you're only going to from now on be able to play that on the past Rock Band titles, because 4.
That's not good. Because
I mean, that was a lot of them. I know
that's some good stuff, man. Because I know
there was
the Metallica stuff fell off that I bought. The Ratchet Peppers, some of the Ratchet Peppers, not all of it, but some of the Ratchet Pepper songs fell off, and I bought those.
I know, but it just wouldn't make sense to me because I think it's a separate download that you would have to do for Rock Band 4, and like with those licenses gone, I don't think you can like convert. You have that back there. And remember, also a thing of no Rock Band, for especially Xbox players. I had a friend that had concerns about. Let me see. Oh, yeah, let's transition for this question about song compatibility. This one comes from Jake. He mainly plays on the bass. Bass master, basically, on my friends list. He says, was surprised while watching the live stream that they would show not even an alpha build of a game that's just months away. Anyways, do you guys think that Rock Band Network songs not being compatible with... do you guys... Oh my gosh, how do you word this? Anyways, do you guys think that Rock Band Network songs not being compatible with Rock Band 4? Maybe he's saying that... Because I'm thinking of note here that Rock Band Network songs are not compatible with Rock Band 4 at the moment.
Well, why wouldn't they be? Aren't they still just DLC?
No, they had... I believe they stated in the live stream that Rock Band Network songs are not compatible in Rock Band 4.
Now I know. Well, I didn't watch the whole live stream. I just saw some of it.
Because that guy said that main marketing guy or whoever he was said that they need because what Rock Band Network really ran on was like this initiative program that Microsoft had, like specifically on the 360, that to like for user generated content, and something they stated that something like that is not on Xbox One at the moment, and once that is, the songs will be compatible. But since
Yeah,
it isn't on Xbox One, it's not.
but that doesn't make any sense because they still put Rock Band Network songs on PS3. Like they
Maybe that's the
said,
same deal on PS3 as well. I mean,
well,
I don't. They didn't
no,
put an
but
initiative like that on PS3, but that's what they had said.
but the Rock Band Network songs were still available to download on PS3. I think what they meant in the live stream is that Rock Band Network won't be available to make new songs. You know, at launch.
But no, but I remember the question on the live stream specifically stating like, "Will past the Rock Band Network songs be compatible?" And they had said no.
That seems weird to me. It just seems like it's all just DLC files. You know, like
I mean, well, they went deeper to that, and they said because of the program that they had on Xbox 360 specifically, it just right now it's not. They don't have it on Xbox One or even PS4, so they can't.
But that's what I'm saying. Like if you're saying something with the 360, but the PS3 still ran those Rock Band Network songs.
I know. Well, I'm well,
I
Jake,
don't know. We're going to put a pin in that one. We need to research that one. I'm not 100% sure on that topic.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, that's what I listened to the live stream. I'd be sure I put notes on my phone about that.
Well, yeah, because I did catch the part when he said like no Rock Band Network as far as like making new songs because they said.
Oh yeah, well that's a given, but no like previous song compatibility. That's the thing I had to be sure to listen to correctly. That previous song compatibility with somebody on 360. That was like that came from a person that was like on 360 and he asked about that.
Yeah, that's gonna be weird because my brother bought a lot of network songs. A lot of Mice and Men and stuff was through Rock Band Network.
I don't know. But what else needs to stay here so we don't go too OT? But he said, are there Big Rock endings?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, we didn't see that at all.
Because they took those out of Rock Band 2, I think. I think they were in Rock Band 1 but not 2, or maybe they were in 2 but not 3.
I think they were in 2. I think they've been in all the Rock Band games except Beatles.
No, I don't think they were in 3 because...
They were in 3.
The Big Rock... Was it on every song or some songs?
Well, not every song. I think only the songs that are authored to have it.
Yeah, because that's what I was getting at. Because I read that somewhere that Harmonic said that actually the Big Rock endings actually infringes on like the copyright of the song because you're like... Because technically you're doing your own thing, on the song. So like you have to like, get approval from the band to allow a Big Rock ending at the end of the song. So I thought they just took them out completely out of Rock Band 3 because of that.
No, they're there. I'm pretty sure it's there.
Okay, so for Rock Band 4, it might be there, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's not, if they just didn't want to deal with it, going back and relicensing it all again. Being like, hey, do you still want us to put a Big Rock ending at the end of your song? And,
Yeah, because at least in Rock Band 3 had Freebirds.
Yeah.
I believe it was Freebird had a Big Rock ending. If you want to look at one right there, Rock Band 3 had one.
Yeah.
And several other progressive rock songs have had DLC for Rock Band 3 have had Big Rock endings. So
yeah. So maybe if Harmonix wants to redo their licensing and do all that again, then maybe. But I would safely just say no. Yeah. Like, probably not.
I'm thinking no either.
And it kind of goes with
the whole thing where they don't want people just like flailing around making things that don't make any sense.
Yeah, breaking your instruments, going crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun, but like it kind of throws people off. Yeah. And then again with the Big Rock endings, everybody has to hit that thing. So like the person's gonna feel real shitty if they just like the one person didn't hit it.
Yeah,
and
we've
like,
had that.
You got that shitty feeling. You get like that pit in your stomach if you didn't hit it. So like I don't like that.
Band.
Yeah, I know. And then it was weird, like with the scoring, like how many times you had to hit things to get like a score. It was weird. So it kind of evens the playing field in terms of leaderboards in that sense as well. So
yeah,
I felt like keys. You could just like hit anything. I remember when there was a Big Rock ending, it had a keys part in it. I remember just like flailing my keys around, like going all around, getting as many points as I could. And then if I was playing a pro keys, I didn't expect what the last note was going to be, or last two notes in some cases. I'm like, oh crap, I didn't get it. And, so like, I think that needs to go actually in Rock Band 4. I think just because I think they clearly authored like stuff in the ending of those songs. It's just they replaced it with a big rock ending in the end. So they just take out the big rock ending and just place the notes that they authored there. So
Yeah.
yeah,
But one thing I would like to see come back though,
yes,
because this hasn't been around since like Rock Band 1, is because you know
but
me, I play the vocals, so I love when this happens. But I loved in Rock Band 1, like if you were really good, like if you were doing really good, the crowd would sing along with you.
yeah, no, that was absent in 3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that they took that out because again, it's the same thing with the Big Rock ending. It infringes on like the song license or whatever.
yeah.
Because it kind of turns it into a live recording and it's not, you know. So like a lot of bands and record companies kind of frown on that.
Uh,
But I love that. I love that in the old games, and it kind of sucks they had to take it out. So I would love to see that come back for Rock Band 4, especially since.
I believe they had said that. Yeah, that is returning.
Oh, that's great because yeah, cause that's what I was about to say. Because with Rock Band 4, they're emphasizing that whole live kind of feel, you know,
Like another game that probably is not doing it as well as Rock Band.
yeah, but like they
But
mean like in a sense like you are a
just
band
kidding.
going
I
to
know.
these shows and kind of like talking in between songs and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
like,
With the whole like if you were actually performing, the gig mode. You say a little.
yeah, the
You
gig
say a
mode.
little something here and there before.
Yeah. So like having the live like people sing with you, that would really, you know, enhance
Help.
that and help it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would love to see that return and
And
if you
depending what artist you play, I think like before, the words you should say before there should maybe add a couple curse words.
yeah. So yeah. So I mean, so if you said that they said that they're coming back then I'm excited for that.
yeah, I watched the live stream in its whole, and I made sure to take notes. And and what other things do I have in my notes here that they had also said due to the extra storage space of the new consoles that there is no song restriction in the game. You can have more than 3,000.
Yeah.
Because Rock Band 3, it had the song cap, the infamous song cap that some people had, especially with people with Rock Band Network DLC. But probably in Rock Band 4, you won't have to worry about that if what I have said and Harmonix has said is true, 100% fact, that then Rock Band Network songs will not return in Rock Band 4. Currently, that we know of.
That we know of.
Yeah, until a moment's notice that maybe, there's a turnaround to that or a workaround to that. But currently, as I've seen right now, that Rock Band Network songs are not compatible with Rock Band 4 at the moment.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing with Rock Band 4 as a summary of what we've seen here so far. It's all in the moment. And I do want he in the moment.
Yeah, I knew you were getting there. I knew you were getting to that.
That's the number one song I want out of anything. Look, like I'm not even putting graphics as it was pre-alpha. I don't know how many it was pretty ballsy for Harmonix to do that. They're confident. They're one of the great developers in my opinion, so that's fine. They do that. The game's definitely not going to look like that. But E3 is pretty close. I wonder if they're going to really have like a better build to show. To be perfectly honest, I don't know.
I mean, we got to be honest here. We love music games, but they're just music games. Like they're not going to be that much different. Like as they go through the builds, they're going to look, aesthetically different.
I'm just saying graphics wise. Highway can only be. Yeah, I remember somebody even asking like, "Will the note highway even change depending what genre of song you play?" I'm like, Rock Band doesn't do that. I don't. It should all be uniform. Just have it the way it is for every single song. Don't change it. But I'm just talking really graphics and user interface wise.
Yeah,
pre-alpha. It's not even too alpha, so I can only imagine what beta, pre-beta, and beta is.
Yeah, I don't even think that was the point of this live stream. Wasn't to show off the graphics or look at this interface. It was all about the music and the gameplay. Like this is Rock Band. This is the Rock Band you know and love.
And a hint of what Rock Band 4 is new.
Yeah, and some of the new features. But I don't think that the whole point of that demo was for the graphics and the menu. It was just about here's the music, here's the game. Here's some of the new features,
Because we also have to hand it to Harmonix here that they created a new engine for this game.
Yeah.
Because if it let me tell you, if it wasn't a new engine, then it probably would have looked a bit better. Because if it was just an iteration of an engine that they already had, but due to the fact that it's a brand new engine from scratch, 60 frames per second, looks much better already so far. So, that's probably why it's in the state that it is in right now. There's still several months. I doubt this game will get delayed. If it gets delayed, then it's before Christmas. If it's anything, but that's just like another world thing if that happens. But I again, I agree with the whole reasoning of what the live stream was there for. That's Rock Band 4 in a nutshell. You know, for a game that's really simple, there sure are a lot of things to it, actually.
It's just about the music, man.
And it is, but you know, there's a lot of complexities to it, which is great, and that's why Rock Band as a franchise has such long staying power, and that's why I'm going to be happy to see it back.
Yep.
And return to form, but yeah, I think that's about it for this week. That was definitely the last question that we had for Rock Band 4. We'll see more in the rest of this month, and then E3, and then when the game gets released.
Yeah. So that's cool. Got a lot of viewer mail there mostly about Rock Band 4.
Mostly about Rock Band 4 and then some strange stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, so I guess that about brings us to the end of the 17th episode of the PSBS, the PlayStation Build Session Podcast. I am your host, Cody, PSN Body Boys. My co-host here is
Andrew Arenas, double is. Have a good week, everybody. Yep. Enjoy everything that has been out. Witcher 3, Life is Strange, whatever's been out.
Yeah.
And, enjoy the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Summer is looming. Well, it's already here, technically.
Yeah, it's here.
It's here, but for many people, it's going to be here for them.
Yeah.
Out of school.
Maybe
have a week off of work. Who knows?
What you do? Just quit your job. Like, I want the summer, damn it.
Well, you're gonna need to in order to play to go through all of Witcher 3 probably. Yeah. So maybe given that the game had just came out, and you're not the only one who bought it, but like you're of the two of us, you've bought it, and maybe we could talk more about Witcher 3 next week.
Yeah, I'll go over more next week.
It's still new.
Still new. Gotta get through it.
Or who knows if you'll have time to listen to this? You're probably playing too much Witcher, people. So
no, they can take time to listen to us. You can
listen to this while you maybe do.
Yeah, listen to us while you play The Witcher.
Yeah, because there are definitely places in that game where like you get lost in, and maybe you don't need the audio of the game.
Or maybe Spotify would pick us up, and then we'd be on Spotify.
With the original programming.
We can be in the background. Us, you guys can listen to us while playing your Witcher or whatnot.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So just email you guys. You'll email Spotify for us and say, hey, we would like the PSBS to be on Spotify so I can listen to it while playing games.
Mm-hmm.
So
that'd be great.
But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, this is the end of the episode, and hopefully we'll see you guys next week. And